Hey everyone, thank you for joining me again today here at Kaylee's Corner. My name is Kaylee and I am thrilled that you are here with me. I had another word that I wanted to share with you from a couple weeks ago now that I've been sitting on for a moment, and it's a little bit more of a personal word, but I really do feel like there's lots of pieces of it that are for other people. So I don't think it's something that I should be keeping to myself, so I wanted to be obedient in sharing it, that then the Lord can work through it and get it. And I pray that it gets to who it needs to get to, and that whoever needs to receive it does receive it in the name of Jesus. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. This word was from April 26th, 2022, and it was a word from God that I received just as I've been working through some stuff that it starts off as some good encouragement to me, and then you just can kind of see and feel he starts to include some other things that I don't want to leave out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share it with you. So this is from God. This is what he was saying to me, is that you're overanalyzing my love for you, because I've been kind of arguing with God that what he's asking me to do doesn't feel very loving. And so that's what I said. Well, I'm like, God, it doesn't feel very loving because I'm so scared of what you're asking me to do. It just doesn't feel very loving. And he said, I know, but it's time to go. It's time for action. You're not going to be as influential for the kingdom if you allow yourself to stay caged up your whole life. And I know there's other people that has got to be feeling the same way, that there's this battle inside of you. So if you're waiting for permission from someone else to live your life, this is your announcement. You will never get it. You will never get permission for you to live your life for you. It's just not going to happen. So this is God's reminder, is you will never get their approval to do what you are called to do or to be who you are called to be, because it's just not going to happen. Because no one else will understand the calling that I've put on your life. Because your calling wasn't a conference call, and it wasn't something that everyone else was notified of. I notified you, and only you, because this life is between you and me. You have now been put on notice that the train is leaving the station very soon. And as much as I want you on the train, I will never force you to go. This is a decision only you can make and will be able to make for yourself. If it's any consolation, I wouldn't be asking or pressing or pushing you this hard if I didn't think that you were ready. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable. Yes, it might make you feel incredibly uncomfortable, and it will force you to grow, but it is necessary. Where we are going, I can no longer have my players sitting on the sidelines. For my kingdom matchup game has begun. And I need all of my starters. I need my star players on the field. This is only a decision that you can make, but don't let your fear be your deciding factor. No, not fear of man or fear of the world. Eventually, you will see yourself for who you are, for who you truly are, and you will no longer need approval. You are a child of mine. Mine, I tell you. Do you know how much weight that carries? You will no longer be seeking for approval from anyone else other than me, because I need you ready. I need you armed, and I need my heroes and I need my warriors to step up into the fight that I have called them to. It wouldn't be fair of me to pull you into a fight that you haven't been prepared for. I want you on my team. I want you by my side, and I know the potential that you have. I know the strengths that you have. Yes, I know your weaknesses as well, but I see them as simply a jumping off point. They are just places to start with. They won't be there long, I promise. This healing journey that I have you on is one for the books. You have no idea the adventures that I have planned for them. I will wait as long as you need, but just know that it won't get any easier. There will never be a good time to surrender your whole life back over to me. So why not just take the leap today? So yeah, there's a lot there, and I'm just kind of left feeling with that question that he said, why not just take the leap? Like, it's never going to get any easier. So if there are things that that fear is holding you back, then I just really feel like this is the moment that God is saying, like, come back to me and just say yes to me. Say yes to God, and take out all of the rest, take out all of the fear, all of the anxiety, all of the insecurities. Just take it out and just simply come back to God and say yes to God. That is the root of everything. Just say yes to God, come back to him, and that we don't have to be worried about everyone else's approval of what God's asking us to do, because for starters, no one else will probably understand what he's called you to do, because no one else is you. He is such a good God, such a good Father, that he has tailored fit everything to be personal to you. So it's probably not going to make sense to other people. And so if we're trying to seek that approval from someone else that isn't us, it's not going to make sense to them, and they're probably not going to give it to us. And so if we are waiting for that yes from someone else, then we're going to forfeit what God has called us to do. And I don't want to do that. I don't want you to do that. And I certainly don't want it to be from fear. I don't want fear to be what's holding me back. I don't want fear to be what's holding you back, because God is bigger than all of that, and that most of the time he's got a plan for all of those things that we think are obstacles. And some of the times what feels like too big of an obstacle to even start tends to not even be an obstacle once we get started, because once we get started, then God works in the middle of it and it's not a problem anymore. So I really pray that this is an encouraging word to you, to remind you, or to, like a call to action. Yeah, that's what I really feel like this is like, it's a call to action, that it is time to get up. It is time to surrender whatever it is back to God. Give it back to God. Say yes to God, and get back in the race. Get back on the horse, per se. Get back on the horse and let him do the work. Let him show you where he's taking you. Let him clear the path for you, so that we can get to work with God, and so that we can further his kingdom, and just really, make the difference that he has called us each individually to do in our own ways. That if we are seeking that approval from anyone else, we need to surrender that thought to God, because we don't need anyone else's approval other than God's. And I know that's a hard concept, because I am still working on that. Being a people pleaser myself, I do seek that approval from other people, and seeking out wisdom from wise counsel is great. But it's when we go as far as saying, if this other person doesn't say yes, if this other person doesn't approve of what I'm doing, I can't do it, then that's where we end up forfeiting what God has for us. And I don't want that for anybody else, because there's just so much in each of us that has to happen. It has to come to life. Pray that this is a reminder, this is a call to action, that it is time for us to stand in who God has called us to be, even if no one else understands it, because above all else, all we need is God's approval, God's permission, and he has already called you to it.